the smartwatch. Are you going to get one? Anywhere from $350 to $10,000. Who's doing it? Who's doing it?
All the way. All in. No,
I would go for $25,000. Frankly, I don't think we've talked enough about it today. I think we need to talk a little bit more about it.
We do. And that's why I'm bringing it up.
good idea.
When one of the biggest companies in the world makes a huge new product, it's worthy to talk about. And none of us here are saying that we're going to buy it. And that's sort of the issue, is how long it's going to take for the adoption to take over.
Okay, hold on a second. This was the most brilliant marketing campaign ever, as per Apple's want. I mean, honestly, we're all talking about it. Everyone's talking about it. The fact is, there's this huge company with endless cash, and they can get all this free advertising. Amazing. Hats off to them.
But
yeah. There are no details about this that are new or exciting.
$10,000 price tag was a little new, right?
No, I knew that.
You did? You guessed it.
I told you that's
guessed
a Bloomberg story this morning. I mean, I can't think of anything that you wouldn't have expected that's actually involved in this watch.
But what's actually interesting, if we move on from the watch for a second, was the MacBook. When I saw it was going to be 2 pounds, I was like, wow, that's going to be huge. I mean, IDC saying that sales could reach over 6 million this year. We kind of write that off as an old product, but this is a huge development for that product line.
I want one.
Yeah.
There you go.
I'll buy one as soon as it comes out. And it's going to be thinner than
like
the original iPad, right? So it's unbelievable. So I think that's the exciting part of the Apple announcement today, and not the watch.
Leslie?
Well, I think it's interesting that they're placing their bets on a laptop when all we've heard is mobility, mobility, mobility. The watch is definitely a bet on mobility. We've heard, all this investment in terms of the iPhone 6 and people buying that. It's interesting. I think another interesting point with the whole watch aspect is that analysts project that they will maintain 56% of the market, that their ramp up to capturing this market is so quick just because of that adaptability and because of the customer acquisition.
The
whole watch market or the smartwatch market?
Smartwatch.
So the tiny little
Rolex
hardly existent smart watch.
But that they're going to actually grow.
So there is no market there. So I'm going to predict they get even 85% of it because
crazy.
Who are they going to beat? Who has a smartwatch?
Huawei.
Oh, Huawei.
They have a killer one that actually people really love. But, okay, we can go on for this forever. But I want to talk about a really awesome story. Venezuela was helped an offering hand by the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Hold on. In exchange for oil, Trinidad would give Venezuela tissue paper. In Venezuela, there's a plague of shortages for basic goods, with citizens lining up outside supermarkets for hours seeking bags of clothes, detergent, toilet paper, cooking oil. I mean, this is actually quite a fascinating story. You guys are looking at me like, really?
No, I love this story.
Can you get my Seinfeld reference? Can you spare a square?
I got that.
I'm friends. I knew friends.
You know what, Elaine Bennis needed tissue paper? But it's actually not a very funny story because you know what? If you don't have toilet paper, it's not a pleasant world, and they are lining up for hours to get such basic products.
And inflation is 70% in Venezuela. That's unbelievable, and the economy is going to contract about 7% this year.
But this is the reason. This is a fascinating story. What happens when your currency no longer has meaning, or when you don't have, any ability to really exchange your goods other than literally exchange your goods? It's kind of going back.
And we're seeing the same thing from Iran, by the way, in terms of exchanging their oil for goods too because of the sanctions. All right, Solar Impulse, an ultralight plane powered only by the sun's rays, took off from Abu Dhabi today in an attempt to fly around the world without using fuel. The 21,000-mile flight will take 4 to 5 months and is scheduled to cross India, China, the U.S. before returning over the Atlantic. I'm going to let Leslie talk first.
I love this story. It reminds me of an Amelia Earhart type situation here. Now, what's interesting is that with these...
works out better for them.
Well, yeah, of course, but they definitely, they stop in certain places along the way. It takes them 10 times the amount of time to get to Oman as it would just a commercial jet because they have to make sure that they're landed and grounded and getting that kind of sun power that they need to keep going. So, I mean, I think it's the way of the future. It's the Tesla from, of the future for planes.
I hope it doesn't take me 10 times as long to get to London as it used to.
I will say that there was an MIT study about 5 years ago that showed that pollution from planes kills more people than plane crashes, than plane accidents. So this is actually a real concern that the pollution from planes is actually contributing to the deterioration of our environment.
All right, thank you. That was actually really interesting. Google Ventures president Bill Maris is saying it is possible to live to 500. That's right, 500 years old. He makes the point in Bloomberg Markets magazine. Maris hired futurist Ray Kurzweil, thank you, to help Google understand a world in which machines surpass human biology. I do not want to live to 500.
I don't either. It's
Talk about Social Security entitlement programs.
Have you seen this kid? I mean, I can't wait for this issue of Markets to hit the stands and for people to check this out. The guy looks literally like a 20-year-old guy.
It's true, he does.
I mean,
he's 40.
less than, yeah, he's 40. But they're also working on anti-aging things. I mean, this guy is doing some pretty remarkable work in the life sciences world, and it seems like this whole artificial intelligence aspect is really cropping up in our daily lives now. You see Chappie at the top of the box office, and what they're doing over there is pretty remarkable.
That alone to me was the most shocking news this morning.
Me too.
That Chappie won the box office.
Hold on a second. This is not new, okay? I grew up in a family of mathematicians and,
of course
science fiction geeks, and honestly, this is like, this has been the quest. This is the holy grail. It's sort of beating science. It's beating the one ultimate end, beating biology, beating the one end that we cannot control, which is that we all are going to die. And if you have billions of dollars, what's the final frontier? Conquering your mortality. And also with robots, if you can't beat them, join them, right? You wanted the nanotechnology to be part of you, absorbing your thoughts. It sort of raises the question, I think, therefore I am, the whole kind of question.
Olivia does that piece on the guy, on Martine, who creates an android version of his wife. Her wife.
Yeah, interesting. I don't want to live till I'm 500. That's the end of the day on that one. All right, thanks so much, Lisa, Leslie, and Matt. I appreciate it.